Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, as promised, we're going to talk about how I made out this week with the goal that I set for myself. So if you like my video, please subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload, and also give me some comments. I would love comments. I'd love to hear if you set any goals for yourself, how you're doing on your weight loss journey, anything. I'd love to hear from you guys. So also give me a thumbs up. I'd love it. So let's get started. So as I mentioned last week, I gave myself a goal this week of preparing and planning, or planning and preparing, breakfast and lunch every day this week. So how did it go? I'm gonna give myself a C+ because I didn't actually exactly prepare everything. I did plan everything this week, but I did not prepare. What I mean by that is one day I had wonton soup from the night before. We had ordered Chinese food, and so that was my lunch. So I believe, I should have looked it up, but I'll put it down on the screen. I believe it's 4 points for the 2 cups of wonton soup, and it's just the standard wonton soup. That's so delicious, one of my favorites. And I also eat some of the noodles and I measure those out. And I'll also link that below, how many points that is on the blue plan, because I'm not 100% sure. But I do weigh and measure that, or I'm sorry, I do measure the noodles because they are high in points. They're fried. So, but I love that lunch, and it's quick and easy on the busy days that I can't really take a longer lunch at work. So it works out really well. So what did I make the rest of the week? So I made a few breakfasts. I did double up a couple of times. So that's what I mean about planning. I kind of cheated a little and planned certain breakfasts, but I only came up with, I guess, 3 different ones. So the first one's pretty much my standard and my favorite, and I'll tell you what that is. I use the Fiber One English muffins, and they're 3 points each, and they're so good because they're a little bit bigger than the Thomas's 3-point English muffins. So I like those. I toast it. I cook up 1 egg that I sort of semi-scramble in the pan, which is 0 on blue. And I cook up a slice of Canadian bacon, and that's 0 if you just have 1 slice. And then I put some kind of cheese on it, whether it's light Swiss cheese. I like the Sargento, which is 2 points for a slice, but it's really good. The other thing I've been kind of getting into is Velveeta slices. They're only 1 point and they melt so well, even though probably not the best choice of a processed cheese product, but it's really good. So that's my kind of standard go-to, but I did plan for it this week. I made sure I had the cheese and the Canadian bacon and everything all ready. So it's also pretty quick. The egg cooks up quick, and so does the bacon. So that was a couple days this week that I had. My new breakfast that I kind of just made up was I toasted some bread. Now, my husband has gotten, like many people in the world, gotten into making sourdough bread. And it's so delicious. And I'm thinking, how am I going to incorporate this into my plan so I can still lose weight but enjoy this delicious bread? So what I do is I slice a pretty thin piece, not super thin, and then I weigh it. And depending on how much I've cut, I look it up in my app and I just see how many for that amount of ounces of bread. So I make a slice of that and put it in the toaster, toast it up. I take 2 tablespoons of the whipped cream cheese, regular, not light or anything, just regular Philadelphia only, because Temptee brand is like double the points, but 2 tablespoons of the Philadelphia whipped cream cheese is 2 points. So I spread that on the bread. Then I sliced some farm fresh, garden fresh tomatoes. Oh my goodness. And they're coming to an end here in New York where I live. They're kind of at the end of the season, but a few friends still have a kind of a couple laying around. So I sliced that, put a little salt, and I sprinkle on a little bit of homemade everything bagel seasoning, which is so easy. I'm actually going to put that down below in the description so that you guys can see how easy it is. And it makes things taste so good. So that was my favorite for this week. I think I had it probably 2 or 3 days during the week. Oh my goodness, I actually had it this morning. It was so good. It's so good. So my third one that I planned and prepared was overnight oats. Those are not always my favorite go-to. I'm more of a savory breakfast eater, but I thought, you know what? I need to give it a try again. I kind of made it when it first was popular. It also was made with pumpkin and pumpkin spice, because sometimes things say pumpkin and it just has the pumpkin spice in it. So this actually has a little bit of pumpkin, and that's from another YouTuber or a blogger. I have to check that. I believe she might do both. She's on Instagram. So I'm going to link that below too, the recipe, because it was delicious. What I did do was I heated it up in the morning, because I think that's what I don't love about it, is that I like my oatmeal warm or hot. I don't really care for it cold. So I'm going to link that below. I'll link the recipe and directions on how to get to her site, and also the amount of points. But that was definitely a good one. I had that one day this week and it was really good. I would definitely make that again. So yeah. So the other thing that I made this week, oh no, let's move on to lunches. So for lunches this week, as I mentioned before, I had wonton soup one day for lunch. 2 days this week, I had my favorite Asian salad. So I love the Asian salad from Panera. Of course, with COVID happening, I'm not really going out too many places. So I kind of try to make it at home in a similar version, because they used to sell the dressing that I loved in a jar in the grocery store. They don't do that anymore since they're selling it again at Panera. So I got a Ken's Asian light dressing. It's good. It's certainly not Panera in any way, shape, or form, but it's good. So what I do is I take some shredded cabbage in a bag, the coleslaw mix, put that in a bowl. I have my dressing, 2 tablespoons is enough. You don't want too much of it. It's kind of strong in like the sesame kind of vinegary flavor. And I add sliced cucumbers, thinly sliced. I add some boiled edamame out of the pot, of course. Oh, so good, the best part. Then I bought these Me Too noodles, which are similar to the ones you get in the Chinese restaurant. They're the crunchy ones. I measure those out. I have half a serving, and that's 2 points. Then I sprinkle in some sesame seeds and some cooked chicken strips. Whether they're pre-cooked, I buy them in the store, or sometimes I just kind of cook up in the oven a whole load of chicken breasts, seasoned with just salt and pepper. I slice them up and I have that. Usually I put it in the freezer so I can just pull a few slices out and stick it on my salad. So it's really, really good. That's another one of my favorites. So I did that a couple days. Then, oh yeah, this is a new one for me. I made I'm going to call it an Italian salad. So once again, one of my favorite dressings that isn't made by myself is from Olive Garden. So they do sell it in the store. They sell the light version and the regular version. I don't mind the light. It's just really good. So what I did was I took some turkey pepperoni and I sliced it in strips, put that over my romaine lettuce that I prepare, just slice up and, wash and dry. I cut up some tomatoes and I got some croutons, which are not, I would say, a Weight Watcher friendly food. For whatever reason, they're pretty high in points. But I actually weighed them instead of measuring them. It's very hard to measure out 2 tablespoons or 1 tablespoon of croutons. So I did that. I put a little fresh basil leaves in there, and I used some shredded light mozzarella cheese. Oh my goodness. It's going to be one of my new favorites. It's so, so good. There's of course no recipe. You can use whatever vegetables and anything you want to put in there, but the turkey pepperoni with the mozzarella and the dressing, oh, so good. So, so good. So definitely give that one a try, even if you make it a little different, if you want to add hot peppers to it. A neighbor of mine actually gave us some. We thought they were hot peppers, but they turned out to be more on the sweeter side, the little green peppers. So I pickled those, and they kind of tasted a little bit like the banana peppers you can buy in the store. Some of you might know them from Subway. Subway has them as part of their vegetable selection, and they're yellow. Oh my goodness. I would put those in that salad if I remembered. So just a suggestion about that, but it was so, so good. New favorite. But I felt really good about this week. Like I said, I'm going to give myself probably a C+ because I really gave it a good effort. I just didn't always prepare the meals, and I kind of doubled. So I could definitely do better. I'm going to work on that. But it was a good challenge for me. It made me think about and I guess plan what I was going to have, even if I didn't necessarily prepare it. So this was a good week. I felt good about it, and please comment below if you do any of these things in your home as part of your plan, if you plan breakfast, if you eat them at home, if you take them to work. Whatever you do, I'd love to hear about that. And if you want to challenge yourself, that would be great. I'd love to hear about that. So I think for next week, we're going to talk about, actually, no, next week, I'm going to do a cook with me. I really enjoy those, and I hope you do too. So it's going to be a cook with me. And let me just get the name of the recipe. So this is a Weight Watcher or WW recipe, and it's called Lemony 1-pan Orecchiette with sausage and broccolini. Oh my goodness. Can I say that enough? I make this pretty frequently. My husband loves it. My mom, who stays with us on the weekends, loves it. It's made with the chicken or turkey sausage. Now, of course, through the pandemic, it was hard to really find the sausage that I liked. So I've tried some others. This one that I'm going to use is premio chicken sausage. So I'll have to make sure I figure out the points if they differ in any way by using that. And the broccolini, if you can't find that, which I love because it's so tender and thin. You can certainly use regular broccoli. I've used frozen broccoli. I've steamed it, cut it up a little bit, and add it to the recipe, but oh, it's so good. So also the Orecchiette. The Orecchiette pasta, if nobody knows, are the little ears. They look like kind of flying saucers, I guess, little round pasta. And certainly I've used penne before. I've used shells. You can use pretty much anything. I've never tried it with spaghetti or like a linguine. I'm sure it would be okay, but this is like I eat this with a spoon because you crumble up the sausage really, really fine, and that lemony flavor, it makes a little bit of a gravy. Oh, it's so good, so good. So we're gonna do that cook with me next time, and I'm really excited about that. Like I said, it's one of my favorite things to do is cook, especially really healthy food. So it should be fun, and I hope you join me. I hope you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so you can be notified every time I upload, and give me a thumbs up. I'd really love it, and I hope to see you guys next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.